On this episode of Salt Lake Insider, episode number 2, we talk about mood-enhancing happy drinks, we talk about weird customers, and we talk about Snapchat with the owner of Max Muscle in Cottonwood Heights. On this episode... Hey, what's up, everybody? It's Dustin Brohm, the host of Salt Lake Insider. Welcome to episode number 2 of Salt Lake Insider. I'm here today with Taylor Reed, the owner of Max Muscle Cottonwood over in Old Mill Village near Cottonwood Heights or Holiday, whatever it is. And Taylor, tell us a little bit about Max Muscle and what it's all about.
So what Max Muscle is and what makes us a little different than others is just, so I'm a nutritionist, and so when you come in here, it's a much more consultative, service-oriented type of a business.
Right.
So you can buy your supplements online and get what you get, or you come in here. We do meal planning. So I have nutrition clients that I've helped lose whatever they need to, 20, 30, 40 pounds.
Right.
But yeah, much more consultative approach. And then all of our products in here, they're safe, they're effective. We actually get them third-party tested so that whatever we claim is in these products is actually in there. There's no fillers, there's no synthetic thing from China that it's going to damage your liver, which is kind of the worry for most people. Is
that common these days in supplements?
So yeah, that's one of the FDA is supposed to regulate supplements, and they actually have started to crack down a little bit more.
Right.
Because they don't do a very good job at it, we wanted to differentiate ourselves by monitoring ourselves through these third parties. And so, we get them tested just so that people can be confident that when they take something here, they're getting high quality ingredients, they're getting what it claims. Because there is a lot of companies that, to make their margins, they're putting fillers, they're putting stuff that's not the highest quality. It may not hurt you, but it's just you're not getting what you pay for. So.
Right. Not as advertised.
Yeah, exactly. And so
Gotcha.
So here you're gonna get the high quality stuff. You're not gonna walk out not knowing what you just bought. You'll know what it's for, how to use it, so that you can actually get results. So.
Right. So tell us, how did you get started with Max Muscle?
So
how long have you been doing it and everything like that?
Yeah, so I was in the military for about 5.5 years. I got out. I knew I wanted to own my own business, but I didn't know what I wanted to do. And so I started looking at businesses that had a high satisfaction for veterans. And so this came up on the radar, and in the military, health, wellness, physical activity, and physical fitness is obviously very important.
Right.
So I'd gotten into that. It was something that interested me. So I looked into the model and everything. First I went to, this is a franchise, so I went to the Draper location and started taking the products. And I'd taken supplements for years and years, and I could just feel a difference in quality. And so I was like, okay, this is something I can get behind. The products are great. And so then looked into the business model. I liked the business model. Getting out of the military, you kind of have to, I feel you have to do something where you feel like you're kind of serving the community, where you're doing something that you're helping the community.
Sure.
Or a lot of times you end up back in the military because you feel unfulfilled. So I like the aspect of being able to help people get healthy and feel better about their life and stuff. So.
Right. I've never heard. It's interesting what you just said about the military and why a lot of people end up back there.
Yeah.
I've never heard that before. That makes sense. It's interesting.
Yeah.
So, with this particular location here in Cottonwood, in Old Mill Village, why did you pick this one? Did the franchise company make you pick this spot, or how did you settle here?
So, you and I are both from the Holiday area,
Right.
And so I was looking into locations. We do have other locations, one in Draper, one in South Jordan, Bountiful, and Layton. And so just looking at locations, there wasn't one over here. It just made sense.
Right.
Since, I was familiar with the location. I was familiar with the demographic of people that would be shopping at my store. And so
Right.
it just seemed like a good fit. So
Easy to get to, also right off 215. Don't they call this area Knutson's Corner? Or something?
Yeah. There's so many names for Knutson's Corner, Old Mill, Cottonwood. There's all kinds of different names.
Before we started filming, we were talking about which city this is actually in, because I thought it was in Cottonwood Heights. Apparently it's Holiday, but they call the area Cottonwood, so it's Old Mill Village.
Yeah.
So this is your first time, obviously, in the nutrition and supplement business. So
Yeah.
what do you like most about it? I know you kind of talked about it a little bit at first.
So what I like most about it is really the, when I get a nutrition client, that's probably the most fulfilling part of it.
Yeah.
Having them come in, be frustrated or whatever it may be. I help all kinds, high school athletes that are undersized, be able to get the right size for their position. Yeah. Oh, I was the same way.
Right.
I wish I knew, then what I know now, because
Right.
I could have.
I just went to McDonald's.
Yeah, exactly. And that's
bulk.
what most kids do. And so, so just getting a client in here and, them having a goal, them being frustrated maybe with their life or whatever, and just seeing them, lose that, 10, 20, whatever it may be, and just
Right.
the, how happy they feel, how much energy they just, it can change your life. Like,
Oh, absolutely.
especially with heart disease being the number one killer, like, it's just such a great thing to give people the gift of health. So
Right. So here at Max Muscle, what sells the best? Like, what are a couple of the most popular items that people love?
So obviously there's the kind of general health and wellness things that obviously sell very well because everybody needs it, like a multivitamin. We have
Right.
a liquid multivitamin that's just really easy to absorb, really soft on the stomach. So that one's really popular because it's different than what you just get at a grocery store.
Right.
The fish oils and stuff that help with heart health, everything, proteins, just because everybody knows about protein. Everybody knows they need to get more of it. It's difficult to get because you have to, cook a chicken or bake fish or whatever it is. It's not as easy as carbs and fats to get. And so those are probably the most popular, but then obviously, just depending on who you are, if you're in CrossFit, obviously like recovery drinks are going to be very popular. If you're looking to lose weight, obviously our diet and weight loss, like Emerge is one of our products that's really popular because it's got a metabolism booster and a mood enhancer, appetite suppressant, not so you don't eat but just so that you don't crave sugars quite as much. And anyway, it's a really popular product. I'm in a business district right here, and so a lot of companies will buy it for their employees because it just helps them. Like the mood enhancer, a lot of people are like, it doesn't work, but some of the bosses and stuff are like, my employees have said, they're like, if you've got bad news, just wait till after he takes his happy drink, which is Emerge. Wait till he takes his happy drink and then tell him the bad news because he's in a much better mood. And so,
that's awesome.
Yeah, so that's good.
So So switching gears a little bit, since you run this business, this is your business and your first business, right? Tell us some of the crazy stories that have happened, or weird stories that have happened, or maybe some weirdo customer. I mean, tell us some of the weird stuff that goes on that none of us get to see.
Well, I don't know. I don't know about. There's not necessarily too many weird, customers and everything, but
not too many.
Yeah, yeah, but we have some, and with me, the biggest thing is you got so many customers coming through all the time, and I try to remember everybody's name and everything, but this one time, this girl came in with this guy, and they're shopping around and everything. They come up to check out, and she gives me her name, and we'll just say it's Jones, so that blah 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 Jones. And I recognized the name, and I was like, "Oh, are you related to this guy?" And she's like, "Well, yeah, I'm his wife." And I was like, "Oh, really?" And then I look over, I'm like, "Wait, is that you?" And he's like, "Yeah, that's me." And he'd lost some weight, and he'd changed his hair and everything like that. But anyways, that was kind of an embarrassing moment where I, sitting there talking about him right in front of him and didn't even notice it was him. So just, and then there's the...
See, he lost all this weight because of this place.
Well, yeah, I mean, that was a good thing.
Right.
But it was different. And then, we have a machine in here that tests, body fat and everything like that. And so, sometimes, you'll say, okay, take off whatever you need to take off to, and, some people will just, straight up strip down and right here in the middle of the store, we're like, oh, well, okay, whatever.
As long as they're comfortable.
Yeah, whatever.
No one else is, but as long as they're
Exactly.
That's awesome. So, in business, what's been your biggest obstacle?
So, because this is, a retail business, obviously the biggest, obstacle is just getting people through the door and retaining people. It's just a constant struggle to, when people come in, they have a great experience. They, everything's good, but it's just that constant struggle to keep getting people through the door and to retain them. It's just something that all retail deals with, and it's something that's pretty difficult. So
So how has social media and the internet? Of course, you haven't been doing this for that long, but when we were in high school, we didn't have cell phones even. Yeah. I had a freaking pager, and so the internet. Yeah, it's still fairly new. How has social media and the internet changed the way you do business?
So the great thing about social media, obviously, is that you can reach a large population for very little cost. I mean, we do all types of advertising. TV, radio, all that kind of stuff, and that reaches a lot of people.
Right.
But you're paying a pretty penny for that, and so it just helps that you can get your day-to-day message out to a large population without spending a ton of money, and so that's kind of the biggest benefit is just that. Yeah, you can get your message out. You can create a community, which is nice, a community of people that are engaged in the same goals and everything. And so it's just a great way to stay connected to your customers that you didn't have back in the day. So.
Right. That's interesting to hear, because you'd be surprised how many business people see social media as a hindrance to them doing business. They see it as a negative, but you're right. I mean, personally, I think social media is incredible.
Yeah.
It's just a different way of doing things, but there are no gatekeepers anymore. I mean, if you want to reach 1 million people, you can. It may cost you a certain amount of money to get that reach, but you don't need permission.
Yeah. Well, and I was watching a show the other day, and them talking about this, I think it was, I can't remember what it was, but they were talking about how powerful social media and some of these, Insta-famous type people are, like, especially like some of these like cooks and stuff, is that some of these social media cooks have, like, I don't know, 1 million more followers than maybe a famous cook on TV. And so these cooks on TV are almost reaching out to these social media players to get advice from them, because it has become a big part of the business aspect and running a business. And
absolutely.
And so I mean, self-promotion is the huge part of social media. Is that used to be only way you could promote yourself was TV or whatever, and now anybody can, if they're driven enough, really promote themselves. So
absolutely. So for anyone watching who is thinking about going into business, whether it's a franchise business or not, do you have any advice for them? Any quick advice on things that you've learned along the way that you wouldn't do or that you would double down on?
Yeah. So the large thing, I think, more than anything, is it takes a very certain personality to get into business on your own.
Sure.
And so if you don't like risk, or you don't like the, if risk just scares the crap out of you, going into business on your own may not be the best aspect.
Sure.
But if you're able to handle risk, if you're able to deal with the fact that there's going to be these times where things are very unsure and you don't know, that going into business is awesome. You can it's the risk to reward. Large risk, you can have big reward, or little risk, some reward. But yeah, there's a lot of great things about it. I just honestly, I think more than anything, it's evaluating yourself first, because you want to be happy. That's the ultimate goal of anything, is to be happy. And so if you don't have the personality, then you're not going to be happy. And so those are kind of the initial things that I would definitely evaluate if you're thinking of going into business on your own.
Right. So I was just reminded of this meme I saw on Facebook a little while ago in this entrepreneur group, and it said, and only entrepreneurs get this, but I work 90 hours a week so that I don't have to work 40 hours a week for someone else.
Yeah.
And that's me. But if you don't understand the value in working for yourself, then you probably shouldn't.
Yeah, and that's another thing that people should realize, is that there is a lot of work that people think, oh, if I go into business, I'm going to have all this time, like I set my own schedule and this and that.
And a Lamborghini 2 months from now.
Yeah. And it's, you have to know that, you are going to work a lot if you want to have your business be successful. And even when you're not working, a lot of times you're thinking about work, because it's just always on your mind. So if you're one of those people that just want to go to work and then just be done with the day, being in business for yourself may not be. And eventually, obviously, the goal is to get to that point where you can turn it over and step back a little bit, have more time for yourself. But initially,
you've got to build the foundation, which can take many, many hours over many, many years.
Many years, It's not open doors and success comes. It's a lot of work. So.
Right. But you enjoy it.
Yeah. It's there's just like with everything, whether you're in business for yourself or working for somebody else, there's good and bad to everything. And so
Right.
you honestly, you just have to figure out what is right for you and
Right.
what's going to make you happy. And if you have the right personality, then being in business for yourself is obviously very rewarding. So
Absolutely, I would agree with that. It's the hardest thing I've ever done, but it's the most rewarding for sure. And there's no limit to the upside of what you can do. So what are your plans for the future?
So, I mean, obviously, we've been in business for, a year and 6 months now, building this up to a point where it's able to sustain itself. And then, being a franchise, obviously the benefit of a franchise is that you're able to replicate. And so
Right.
obviously the goal would be to, have another location or, 2 other locations and just,
Right.
Just become, the authority or, the place to go if you need nutrition or nutritional advice. And so
Right. I'm glad that we talked today because, and I'm sure a lot of people watching feel the same way. We drive by a nutrition store or a supplement store and we lump them into the same category as a bodybuilding.com or GNC or something. But it's interesting that when someone walks in the door here, they're actually, like, you're talking to them, you're finding out what their goals are, what they want, what their strengths and weaknesses are, so you can kind of point them in the right direction versus walking into a GNC saying, I want that, buying it, and you're out.
Exactly. Yeah.
So
just different business models. They're more of the GNC's more like the Walmart of of supplements, where you just go in, you pick what you want, and come out. But yeah,
too bad they're not as cheap as Walmart. GNC's not cheap.
Yeah, they're not terribly cheap, but
right.
But yeah, and so anyways, that's kind of just different models. But yeah, I mean, I think as time goes, people more and more are realizing the benefits of supplements, and
Right.
and people come in here and they think, oh, I'm gonna get sold a magic pill or this or that. You come in here and it's like, look, you're gonna have to put in work. Like, supplements are to supplement on top of a good diet. Like, you have to get your diet in order. And what supplements will do, they will just enhance or help you get to your goals quicker, more efficiently, and you're going to be like less sore, less tired. Like, you can, it's just going to help you have a better experience as you try to reach your goals. So
that's fantastic advice right there. I've heard that from. It's rare to hear that from someone in the supplement and nutrition business, because so many people, they just want to sell products.
Yeah.
But you're right. If you're not going to change your lifestyle, if you're not going to actually exercise, or if you're not going to stop eating junk food, what's creatine going to do for you?
No. Exactly. Yeah. And so you can't. Diet is such a huge aspect of it. I mean, a lot of people, when they want to lose weight, first thing they do, they go get a gym pass. Like, that's usually the first thing that people do. But honestly, nutrition is 80% of it. Physical fitness 20%. Obviously, you want to give 100% to both of those things. Yes. But if you get your diet in line, it's just going to make your gym experience that much more enjoyable. You're going to reach your goals, because you can't outwork a bad diet. It's not going to happen. And so
I'm going to throw that up on the video in quotes right there. What did you say? You can't outwork a bad diet?
Yeah.
I like that.
And so and so you have to have all the aspects together. And so that's where we're at is we can help you to be able to get your nutrition in line, because all food is energy. That's all it is. In its simplest form, it's energy. And so if you're fueling yourself properly, you're going to have the right energy to do whatever you need to do in your life.
Right.
But you just have to have the proper nutrition. So
it's fantastic advice. I learned something today. So, real quick before we wrap up, if anyone wants to follow you or follow Max Muscle online, how can they find you?
So we've talked about social media. Obviously,
Yep.
social media is great. So Instagram at Max Muscle Cottonwood, Facebook Max Muscle Cottonwood, website www.maxmusclecottonwood.com. So
I'm
Max
noticing a
Muscle
theme
Cottonwood
here.
throughout. So yeah,
Right.
I mean, and so yeah, we're just located over in Old Mill, and so.
Nice. Are you on Snapchat yet?
I am on Snapchat. It's not.
Nice.
It's not so much. I haven't figured out the business aspect of it as
Right.
much as just for fun. But yeah.
Well, good for you for being on Snapchat. So many people in business, they draw a line in the sand that, I'm not going to do that Snapchat thing, or it's a fad or whatever.
Yeah.
But 2 years from now, they'll all be on it.
Yep.
They'll just be late to the party.
Yeah, that's the thing is, you just that's what was with Facebook, Instagram,
Yes.
and then eventually everybody's on it, and you just. So
Right.
you either are early to the party or you're late, and so
Right.
it's always best to be early. So
I was very late to the Facebook party. my mother was on Facebook
Yeah.
like 2 or 3 months before I was. It's pathetic, actually.
Yeah.
And now I'm like Mr. Social Media. Like, I can't get enough of it.
Yeah.
But, Facebook was our first real exposure to that.
Yeah.
I don't count MySpace.
Yeah, no.
But Facebook was really the first social media, and now it's totally just opened our eyes as to what's possible. But that's
Sure.
cool you're on Snapchat. So should we expect a Max Muscle Snapchat account anytime soon?
Well, I mean, it is a Max Muscle Snapchat, but
Oh, right on.
yeah, I mean, I just gotta.
Like mixing your protein shakes?
Yeah, I mean, I gotta figure out how to really reach people on a business level, but yeah, we're there. So
Right on.
yeah.
Well, we will link up all of your social accounts here on the video and in the comments of the video. So is anything you want to end with, or
No,
did we
I just
cover it?
Yeah, I mean, I appreciate being on and getting the opportunity to share kind of what we're about and a little bit more about me and stuff. So
Yeah,
thanks.
absolutely. I appreciate you being on the show, on this experimental show, episode number 2.
Yeah.
But we're going to start doing a lot more of these. So if you guys watching have any businesses or restaurants, or like the principal of your kid's elementary school or whatever that you want to be on Salt Lake Insider Show, shoot us a message, leave it in the comments, because I really want to provide value to you guys, and whoever you want to see, I'd like to provide that for you. So we'll call it a day. Taylor, thanks so much, man.
Thanks.
Yep. Thanks for watching Salt Lake Insider.